Welcome back, everybody. It's your pal Orange Hat here to bring you another video. So, it seems that Brie Larson is unable to take Backlash. So she is avoiding questions that will potentially cause backlash. And I will get into it. This is from an article from Fandom Pulse. Shout out to you guys. Brie Larson says answering questions about Hollywood pigeonholing female actresses has become a problem for her. And also, I'm going to go over this person who interviewed her and their stupidity. So, in an interview with The Telegraph to promote her upcoming stage play Elektra, Larson was asked why she thinks some men are threatened by her casting as Captain Marvel. Nobody is threatened by her casting as Captain Marvel, folks. Literally nobody. And if there is a 1% of 8 billion people out there that is threatened by it, or less than even 1%, well then that is too bad. But the thing is, this just shows that this person who was doing the interview, they don't know anything. But yeah, Larson responded, "I don't know, I don't pay attention." Writer Claire Alfrey then detailed she asked her, or if her not paying attention was her way of dealing with the misogyny. What misogyny exactly? I mean, sure, there might be less than 1% of 8 billion people thinking so. But if you pay attention to all of the backlash and whatnot, it came from what she did and said. It didn't come to about anything about female characters or the character being female. What I would like to see, if that by continuing this conversation, you are putting me in connection with something that has nothing to do with me. What I would like you to see is that by continuing this conversation, you are putting me in connection with something that has nothing to do with me. Really. She then shared she attempted to question Larson about the fact she sees female superheroes or that fans see female superheroes as an aberration because Hollywood pigeonholing female actresses. What? Supergirl from the 80s! Fucking seriously. How are you stupid? Claire Alfrey? Nobody frickin' thinks they're an aberration. God, you are dumb. Larson responded, "I don't think there is a way for me to answer that without it becoming a problem for me." She is afraid of backlash. Over the years, Brie Larson has built up a lot of backlash due to what she has said over the many years. And she has made herself hated. So now she is afraid to answer questions because they may lead to backlash. That is what I am perceiving this as. It has nothing to do with me hating on Brie Larson or me hating Brie Larson. I don't hate the woman. But I do feel that she has said a lot of stuff that, well, was not really truly thought out. Let's just say that. Larson's comments appear to be in line with her response when she was asked about Johnny Depp's film Jean de Barry opening the Cannes Film Festival in 2023. As reported to Variety, Larson was asked by a member of the press, "You've been sort of outspoken and very vocal for Time's Up and Me Too. I'm curious how you feel about Johnny Depp's film opening the festival, and do you plan to see it?" Larson replied, "You're asking me that? I'm sorry, I don't understand the correlation or why me specifically," the member of the media explained. "You were on the advisory council, celebrity advisory council for Time's Up. I think the Johnny Depp case has been well played out in America and the international media. There's been some controversy that the film being chosen to open Cannes. I am just curious if you will see it and how you will feel about its selection here." She then answered, You'll see, I guess, if I see it. And I don't know how I'll feel about it if I do." She is dodging questions. she is learning that if she says anything about any sort of identity politics stuff, it's going to most likely lead to backlash that she doesn't want to hear. This is a girl, by the way, folks, who cried over an election result. Back in 2016, she cried, and Sam Jackson had to go over and console her. Why anybody would cry over an election result and be so broken over an election result is beyond me. Look, to be completely open and honest with you all, something that I do, I wasn't happy when Biden won 2020. I wasn't crying in a fetal position. I wasn't whining about it. Yes, I was a little bit outspoken as to the results being unfavorable, but I got over it and I moved forward. I wasn't crying in the bathtub in a fetal position or anything like that, which is mainly what a lot of these celebrities metaphorically did. But at the time, it was a huge shift for Larson, given that she was outspoken on promoting feminism. Back in 2018, while accepting a Crystal Award, she declared, "I don't need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what the film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women, to teens that are biracial." And for the third time, "I don't hate white dudes. These are just facts. These are not my feelings." Larson went on to advocate for inclusion riders in film contracts. Back in 2022, while she was promoting Captain Marvel, "The movie was the biggest and best opportunity I could have ever asked for. It was like my superpower. This could be my form of activism," clarifying that the movie was done strictly for activism. That's wokeness, by the way, folks. That is what wokeness is. It is agenda over story. Doing a film that can play over the world or all over the world and be in more places than I can be physically. She did this movie to push an agenda. The original Captain Marvel movie. And then this one, or this Marvel's movie as well. As for what her activism was, she detailed it included inclusion riders, which mandates racial quotas for actors and production staff. Larson explained inclusion has to be a choice. It's not happening naturally. You really have to fight for it. Apparently, Brie Larson has not looked at the Hollywood histories. Gay characters have been in cinema, in movies, since 1916. Black characters, I believe, since the 40s. Black leads since the 70s. What lack of representation are you talking about? There's been transgender characters in film and in TV shows and whatnot since early 2000s. Actually, I believe since even before that. There is no glass ceiling that hasn't been broken. But anyway, and in April 2019, she appeared in Tina Brown's Women in the World conference in New York, where she commented on the Me Too movement. I was so grateful for the strength, and continue to be grateful for the strength, because it has created this tidal wave of conversation, and I don't feel like it has stopped or will stop anytime soon. The Me Too organization was largely discredited due to the fact that many women who made false accusations used the Me Too hashtag, and the Me Too movement never came out denouncing those claims or those instances. No, they continued to fight for it, because believe all women, by the way, folks. She added, it across industry changed things. It certainly changed my industry. We still, of course, have a long way to go, but without a doubt, it is the reason why we have a historic shift is because of the bravery of the men and women who came forward and spoke up about the abuse they were experiencing. Yeah, Kathy Bates, I believe I did a video on this years back about Kathy Bates coming out and exposing many Hollywood celebrity of the fact that if you consent, or it is not that four-letter word that you really can't say much of. Starts with an R and rhymes with grape. So yeah, she later indicated she would use any privilege she had to make changes she wanted to see. If I have any sort of privilege, I immediately want to spend it. Whatever the currency is, I am spending it immediately. I am not going to hold on to it and hope that I put it into some account and it makes more money. I want to spend it because we need the change now. I'm really not afraid of falling on my face because I've done it my whole life. I'm just kind of like, bring it. And yet you are now hiding from questions and interviews that may cause you backlash. Larson was also part of the Time's Up movement. She shared her support for the organization back in 2018. Together we can end harassment, discrimination, and abuse of power imbalance, or the power imbalance we all face in the workplace. What do you make of Larson indicating that questions about feminism have become a problem for her? What about the fact that she does not want to answer them? Well, I think it is rather interesting that if she is saying that these problems are, or that these kind of questions are a problem for her, yet she was one of the most vocal women out there for feminism and power to women and whatnot, well, it shows that she has done some soul searching and realized she can't handle the backlash. That is what it is being perceived as here, folks. Thing about being a public figure, you're always going to have people who are going to give backlash. The problem with the Captain Marvel movie wasn't so much that she was female. No, it was that she didn't earn her hero's journey. She was already the best, just held back through an inhibitor. And they made the men in the movie seem lesser to prop her up. I have often done the scales with my hands. Here is a normal balanced scale. Here is the female, this hand here. And here are the men on this side here. Cut down the men, well, and the female hasn't moved, but yet she is now higher than the men. That is basically what they did with Captain Marvel. I mean, there is that deleted scene that everybody knows about the Captain Marvel movie where she breaks the dude's hand simply because he was just being, well, a rather overzealous biker. Now, that is no excuse, but, yeah. That sort of behavior does not require a person's hand to be crushed and his bike stolen. It's not hero material. And the fact that it was a deleted scene meant that it was meant to be put into the film. However, they decided to reshoot it so that it wouldn't cause any problems. Yeah. But Brie Larson, back to the point here, Brie Larson doesn't seem to want to handle any questions that may cause her backlash. I'm guessing she is learning that she's unable to handle it. Because anytime she does get backlash, she whines and whatnot. She used to be such a proud figure that would often speak up in these things. But now, she's like, you are engaging in a conversation that will become a problem for me. Yeah. So yeah, Brie Larson has essentially fallen. I'm not saying that that is something we should celebrate. I am simply saying that I hope that she eventually, in time, grows her resolve so that she can handle these questions, but also maybe look at them from a more enlightened perspective. Female heroes are not a problem for people, folks. Female heroes are genuinely and widely embraced by many people, men included. But if you handle them right, we will have no problem. Look at Alita Battle Angel. Really love that movie. That's because that was female empowerment done right. She didn't have to shit on men. She didn't have to say that, oh, men are trash. She didn't have to think that she was a victim all the time. That's what happened with Brie Larson's activism. Constantly saying all that men are trying to marginalize women. No, that's not the case. There are so many factors that are unsaid in those kind of statements. Unsaid because they are inconvenient and would expose the bullshit narrative that her and many others have perpetrated throughout Hollywood. Anyway, folks, that is the video. Y'all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of Brie Larson now avoiding questions that would possibly cause her backlash? Let me know all your thoughts, folks. This has been Orange Chat. Y'all have a wonderful day, and always remember to stay humble. Peace.